What's feeling like that after that second half and the way it's changed a lot of the way you're playing? Do you feel like that's the way you can play for the future now?
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, disappointing first half, but we addressed a few things at half time and played at our brand, got back to our brand in that second half. And obviously, it doesn't just happen, so there'll be a lot of hard work going into it this week. So we start that way, but definitely very pleasing that we were able to turn it back to our favour and hopefully carry that momentum forward going forward.
It's really interesting that you have played almost two halves in most weeks. There's been a change in your style. How do you go about making sure that you play four quarters of the same way rather than kind of all in trouble and now we have to move on?
Yeah, obviously, it's been a big sort of year in terms of that aspect, but I think we just got to be more consistent and it just it comes down to the contest really. If you're getting beaten at the contest, it's hard to get your game going in the other parts of it. So we'll have a big focus on starting that way, and we'll train like we want to start today, and that'll take us forward and put us in really good stead to start off like that this weekend.
Are your starts in general something that you feel you need to address because you have started slowly for a fair portion of time now?
Yeah, absolutely. It was a big part of our off-season and pre-season. We gave up a couple of head starts last year that ultimately cost us, and we don't want to put ourselves in that position. So we'll keep learning from doing that, and we'll keep training our way, and it'll hopefully turn, and we're confident that it will too.
Okay. So when you're starting training, have you changed the way you prepare for training so that you can treat it like a game?
Yeah, absolutely. So we want to be a lot more physical going into games. We feel like we're just being beaten to the ball a little bit. So we train with a few drills at the start of training that will get us right into the game in the contest and bring that physicality. So hopefully that puts us in really good position to start our games as well.
The way you started against the Bulldogs last time we were in the final and then churned over the top of
Exactly.
Is that a good reminder for this weekend when you play?
Yeah, absolutely, and it's sort of been the story of the year as well. We want to start the game the way we finished on the weekend and the way we finished against the Bulldogs that day in the final. So it'll be a big focus going into the game to start really physical and fast, and we've got really good confidence within the group that we can do that.
Does the fact that you're playing the Bulldogs, Lachie, bring back some fond memories at all?
It definitely does, but at the same time, it's a new year. We've got a completely different look to our team, so we'll go into the game knowing what worked that day, but also looking at the Bulldogs and what they've changed and what we've changed and what will hold us in good stead going into this week.
How about the forward line? What did you learn, do you think, in the Gold Coast game about what was working well with that part of the ground?
Yeah, obviously it's a work in progress, our forward line. It's a very new group, so we're still trying to build that chemistry. But we thought that going into that second half, the way we changed our ball movement up the field and won a few critical contests ahead of the ball, just left us in really good positions to ultimately score from those plays. And we feel like if we give our big guys the best chance by our ball movement and kicking it to their advantage and playing with a little bit of speed on the ball and getting it to their advantage, it's gonna be easier for them. It's easier for us, and it's just more predictable for everyone. So going forward, I think we'll take really good signs out of that game and learnings, and hopefully keep putting that together.
The balance was probably a little bit different with the talls and smalls. Do you feel like, I guess, names aside, did that balance work well for you?
It wasn't really something we looked at. I think we've got really good depth on our list, so it doesn't really matter who plays in the forward line. Obviously, we want to get the continuity out of everyone and put some games together. So obviously on the weekend, I think we're a little bit smaller, but we thought guys like Bailey Banfield, who had to play tall at times, really put his hand up and made some really good contests out of the ball for us, but also was lively at ground level. So obviously for our smalls, it starts with our pressure, and when we've got more guys on the field that can apply that pressure, it helps us keep the ball in our forward half and helps us win the ball back closer to goal. So probably worked really well in that aspect on the weekend, and and then it gave the big guys a really good opportunity to score and do their thing as well.
Do you feel like there's more pressure now on small forwards with the amount of injuries?
Nah, not necessarily. I think obviously losing Switter on the weekend was a big loss, but we've got full faith in whoever comes in and does that job. And then obviously as I said, we've got really good depth all over the field. So I'm not sure how we'll replace him this weekend, whether we bring in another forward or if we go different to that. But I think we've just got that connection between each other that we're not too stressed who's out there. It's just we know what we're going to get from each other, and as I said, Switter's a big loss. Like, he's a really, really good player. So, but we're confident whoever covers him.
Do you feel like you spoke about being physical before the third quarter? You managed to break that tackle and then kick a goal. Is it moments like that you can feel the momentum change within the forward line or within the team?
Yeah, I think so. I think we had a big focus on as I said at the start, being a lot more physical and it started in our midfield. The guys got on top in there and they were really strong over the ball and won the ball themselves and broke tackles and got it out the front of the stoppage, and I think we won clearances. So that obviously it sort of stems from there, and it gives us confidence all over the ground to be able to do our own thing when it's our turn to go. And I think starting from the midfield, where our leaders play and our young midfield brigade getting back to their best, it's pretty exciting times.
Was that break and tackle spoken about at 3/4 time?
I can't remember, to be honest, but
do you remember the feeling of what after you kicked that goal and only being a goal down? Do you remember that sort of felt like everything changed?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the third quarter we felt the momentum change for sure, and we took a lot of confidence going into the last quarter, even though we were up a little against a bit of a breeze going into the last quarter. We just knew what we were doing was working, and we were really confident in the way we were playing. And obviously, we changed a few things at half time, and it was working. And the boys really, as I said, the boys in the midfield really stepped up. So I think Caleb, he was exceptional, and he really led from the front. And then Andy and Will as well, and Sean had a massive game inside as well. So I think the confidence coming into the last quarter, we just knew that we were the fitter side and the strongest side on the day, and we're just gonna be able to run over the top.
How's it been having Michael Walters back in that forward 50? The two of you really seem to be clicking, particularly in that second half on Friday.
Absolutely, yeah. I love playing with Sonny. We've got a really good chemistry now. We've played a few years together now, so to have him back is just makes my life a hell of a lot easier up there, and we know each other's games inside out now. So loved having him there, and the passion and the ego and everything that he brings, it's something that we've lacked over the last few weeks, and his goal sense as well is just phenomenal, and the way he uses his body and everything, his small forward craft is just second to none. So to have him back in our forward line and back at his best on the weekend was great to see.
And missing some tours through injury, of course, but having blokes like Luke Jackson and Jai Amos starting to find their feet up forward, how much does that make yourself and Sonny's job, easier as the small forwards?
Yeah, absolutely. As I said before, it wasn't on them that they weren't firing or per se, but it was more what was happening up the field wasn't giving them a really good opportunity to fire. But on the weekend, you saw in the second half when that changed how good of players they actually are and can be for us. So going forward, we're pretty excited with what they've got to offer, and obviously it's a very young forward line in terms of our key forwards, but what they're capable of is going to lead us to really great things, and as we keep playing games together and getting that chemistry together, it's I think the sky's the limit.
Sam's been able to, I guess, give you a shot of life in the midfield within games. Have you put your hand up to take those midfield minutes that he's had?
Yeah, for sure. I've done a lot of work with the midfield coach, so Joel Corey. So I'm more than ready, and if I'm called upon to go in and try and do what Switter does, and I'm more than happy to. But Switter's an electric player, and what he offers, I definitely can't match that. So I'll hopefully offer something different if I go in and get the ball moving our way. But as I said, we've got full faith in whoever plays whatever role in the team, we know that they're going to come in and play that role. Yeah.
What was the extent of that midfield work that you did through the pre-season with Joel?
Yeah, it's just going over stoppages and centre bounces and running patterns after stoppages and stuff like that. So if we can throw a little bit at other teams and disrupt them, then it will work in our favour. But I'm also happy playing as a forward. So I think that's where I play my best footy, obviously, which has been with no stress at all. So whether JL wants me inside or as a forward, I'm happy to play wherever.
News that West Coast want to be compensated for the extra away trip, but due to gather around as someone who travels a hell of a lot, what sort of an impact do you reckon that would have if you guys receive something like that as well, where you don't have to go away for an extra week?
Yeah. To be honest, I'm not too sure where we stand on it, but personally, we spent the week over in Adelaide. We only sort of flew over there once. Obviously, another home game would be really nice. We love playing in front of our own crowd and love playing here in Perth. So, I don't see why it would be a problem. But as I said, the chemistry we built within a group and the connections we made by staying together for a full week in Adelaide was a massive benefit for us as a group and such a young group as well. We had some really good discussions as players and really good meetings and built a really good sort of vibe within the group as well while we were over there. So,
From a totality point of view, the number of times you travel throughout the year, would reducing it by one make a big difference? Do you feel to how you would feel by the end of the season?
I'd say so. I think it takes its toll as the year goes on, but that's the life we live and we love it and we love getting away as a group and playing footy. So another home game, is obviously really nice. But as I said, I'm not too sure where we stand on it as a club. I'm sure we'd love another home game, but it's sort of out of my hands.
Rory Love this weekend, how are you guys feeling about facing him?
Yeah, obviously it'll be good to come up against Lobby again. We're still good mates with Lobby, so it'd be good to get out in the field and give him a bit, but it's all in good fun and he's still a really good mate, so look forward to seeing him. But we're looking at the Bulldogs as a whole. There won't be anything towards Lobby as such, but we feel like we've got really good opportunities against the whole team, and the way we go towards one player, I'm not too sure if it's a thing, but we'll take on the whole team, not just Lobby.
Have you seen much of the Bulldogs this season at all? Are there any changes, perhaps, in comparison to last year when you played them in the elimination final?
We just had our meeting then to discuss what we expect from the Dogs, and obviously they're a very skillful team, but they're also really good in the contests and around stoppages as well. So there's a lot of work to go in, and we'll go out and train it now, and we feel really confident going into the game that we'll have done the work, and we know what to expect, and if we can put our best footy together, I'm sure that'll put us in a really good position.